I had multiple stories that I was gonna put in this video, but I'm just gonna use this one simply because I still feel like it gets the point across, and also I just don't want the video to get too long. So, the other day I was on Instagram and an account appeared because we have the same mutual friend, which I was like, whatever. But the PFP was of like a TV show that I used to watch years ago when I was a little kid. So I click on this person's profile and I'm like, who is this? And I noticed they got hundreds of followers, but the account's private. So I'm kind of like, alright, I don't really care as much now. I'm not gonna send you no follow requests. You're not Hollywood. But then I see this person has a date and an at in their bio. And I'm like, oh, this person has a girl, like, good for them. I click on the at. This girl doesn't even have the date or his at in her bio. Her bio says something along the lines of live your life to the fullest. Where do I even begin with this? What do I even say? That you're more than likely probably not already just thinking. It goes without saying, but the average person in a relationship these days, you always notice that they are being humiliated. One side is always being humiliated. Sometimes it is the girl going out sorry. But the reason I lean more towards a man who's going out sorry, in a woman's case, unless you are just straight SCP looking, all you really have to do is weed out who's who, which can be time consuming, sure, or even in a lady's defense, you're not gonna be right all the time. Like sometimes you just choose a bad partner and it's not your fault. But with a guy, you have to like work for it. You have to earn it. You have to prove to her why you should be the man paying her bills, which is silly when you think about it in the grand scheme of things, but it is what it is. The thing is, imagine putting in all that effort as a man, and then your girl, her bio is just like, live your life to the fullest. That's crazy work. And I remember just truly sitting back there, like, I just stared at my phone screen for like 2 to 3 minutes in deep thought of like, is that all there is for me? Oh, I love my girl, I love my wifey. And then she's sitting there talking about some hashtag YOLO. I would crash. I would genuinely crash. And I think a lot of people would crash. Every time I step out of my cave, my solitary cave, and I try to give people a chance, or I try to see like, what's the world on today? Should I change my ways? Simply just to challenge my way of life, simply just to challenge my thinking, my thought process. I don't like to stay one dimensional. Like I'm willing to truly engage with other methods and other things to see if, is my way foolproof? Of course it's not. Nothing is foolproof. But you understand the point. I actively seek out a difference and I actively choose different paths throughout different times and phases of my life. And yet, one path that has remained consistent, if it all depends on you, that is the best outcome because you know what you're capable of. You can very easily weed out your strengths and weaknesses depending on how self-aware you are and how much humility you have. But the point being, every time it was just me, anytime it was always me, by myself, by my lonesome, a lot of outcomes ended up in my favor. Even the ones that didn't, usually it was other factors that never had to do with my ability. And even if it did have to do with my ability, okay, cool. Back to the lab again. I know what needs to be worked on. I know what I need to strengthen. You get what I'm saying? The moment you involve another person and they start playing games or playing in your face, lying to you, being scandalous, you really can't do anything because you can't make this person act right. You can't make this person do anything. And some people might say, oh, you can't make a person do anything, so you shouldn't stress about it. That's one of those double-edged sword scenarios. It's just like I said a few moments ago. Oh, there's times where you lose and it's just out of your control, like it was just the world itself against you. Yeah, that might be freeing in an aspect of like, it's not my fault. But at the same time, it's not freeing because it's like, so all this work meant nothing because of XYZ reason that I wasn't even a part of. No amount of intellect, no amount of strength, no amount of charisma, nothing would have mattered in that scenario. Like, I was doomed before it even began. So the way that I see it, yes, it's freeing in a way of like you can't control people, but at the same time, that leaves the realization that a person can just wake up, destroy it all, no matter how many years, how many moments, how many inside jokes, and that's just it.